Hello guys, welcome to Pepcoding, and today we will gonna solve this question: remove last in doubly linked list. So first of all, let's understand what our question wants, right? So let's get to our open board and explain you everything. So this is our question, and we have given a doubly linked list. First of all, the question is what is the difference between linked list, singly linked list, and doubly linked list? So if you remember, uh, a singly linked list will look something like this: 21, something like this, right? The only difference between singly and doubly is doubly have pointer for both the sides. Like you can access 10 from 14 and you can access 14 from 10, right? This is the only thing, the only difference, right? So now understand our question. So question is remove last from doubly linked list. We have to do what? We have to remove the last element. What is last element in this linked list? 99. So we have to remove 9 from our linked list, not line, last element, right? So this is the head. I can say this is head, and this is what? This is tail. So in this question, there are also three scenarios. First is if list is empty, list is empty. What you can do, what you have to remove if list is empty. Second is if size of list is is 1. If there is only one element, then what you have to do. And third point is else, means anything except them. Anything except these two cases are considered third cases. So first of all, we will check. So first of all, let's see code which we have given first of all, and then we will understand it again. So we have given a class for our linked list, right? Then we have given this list is empty exception. So if size is 0, we have to print list is empty. We have to run this exception function, right? Then there's add first node function. Then there's add first node function. Then there's this remove first node, which we have done in our last question. Remove first node, then remove last. Sorry, remove first. This is the function remove last. This is the function we have to complete. Okay, let me mark it. We have to complete this function. Write your code here. We have to write our code in this function. Okay, so first of all, let's understand the first scene. When list is empty, when size is 0, what if, so if size is 0, what you have to do? There is nothing you can do. There is a function which we already have, empty list exception function. Empty list exception. Why this is exception? This is exception because if list is empty, if its size is 0, what you have to remove? There's nothing you can remove because there is nothing. You cannot remove anything from nothing, right? And then the second scenario, if list is 1, if size is 1, so if there's only one element, like if there's only one element and you have asked to remove the last element, so this is the first element, this is also the last element. If our list is single, if our list is just considered is if the list is only with one element, it is the first element and it is the last element, so you have to remove this last element. What you can do, the only thing you can do is right now head is here and also tail is here, and if you remove it, head will point to what? Null, and tail will point to what? Null, right? You have to point both of them to null. Now comes the third case. So first of all, let's handle these two cases, then we will go back to the third case. Okay, here we have to do, right? So first of all, we have to do what? We have to handle our empty list exception, right? So we will do that, but before that, okay, so first of all, let's take our exception. So list is empty exception. We run our this function And we do what? If list is really empty, we need to return -1. Then now comes other part. Okay, okay. So now comes the second part, which is we have to handle the other two cases, which is if list is size 1 and if its size is more than 1. So for both of those cases, I will create another function. Okay, so here I will say node is equal to remove last node. I'll call this function, and at last I will return node dot data. Now let me write this function, and this is the main function, guys. So please listen to me carefully how you can do it. So I will do what? I will make it private first, because there is no need to make it public. Node remove, or I'll just paste it because I have already copied it. Now first thing is node is equal to this dot tail. So we have to do three things. First thing is we have to get its tail, and we have to analyze its tail, and we have to break the bond. So first of all, let's remove it. First of all, let's see for size 1. So if this dot size is equal to 1. If size is 1, what we have to do? We just have to make this dot head is equal to this dot tail, and both them is null, right? This is when size is 1. Now comes the else part, and after that we have to do what? We have to update the size, this dot size minus, and after that we have to return what? Let me tell you what. So for size 1 we have handled the case. Now comes this part. Let me check this now. Let's analyze how we can do this thing. How you can handle this case. So one thing is, in our doubly linked list, access is very easy. Because in this linked list you can access 9 from 60, and you can access 60 from 9. So the access is very easy, and you have to remove what? You have to remove the last element. You have to remove this element, right? If I ask you to remove this element, what you have to do? You have to, if you just see what you have to do, you have to make this tail, you have to take this tail and put it here, and you have to just break this bond, right? If you did this, 9 is broken, right? We have removed the last element, but the thing is how you can do it, how you have to do it, right? Because again, let's try to do it now. So we have to remove last element, right? So what I will do is, I will take one more pointer and I will point it to this direction, which is previous. So now I have two pointers, tail and previous, and I have to remove what? I have to remove tail, right? So I will write something like this. I will write first of all previous dot next is equal to null. So this line will break this bond from this direction, right? Then I will write what? Then I will write second line, which is tail dot previous is equal to null. This line will break what? This line will break this bond. Two things are done, that this element is broken now. And last thing is, I have to update my tail. Because why I have to update my tail? Because tail is the last element. So I have to take this tail and put it here, which I can say tail is equal to previous, and it's done, right? So let's go and code this out also. So in the else part, I have to do what? First of all, let's take the tail. So node is equal to this dot tail. Now comes the else part. So node previous node is equal to this dot tail dot previous, and previous node dot next is equal to null, and at last node dot previous is equal to null, and last is this dot tail is equal to previous node. Now understand what this code is doing, right? Let's go and understand what this code is doing here. Increase it. So first of all, what we did is we take previous node, which is this dot tail dot previous. So I take this as what? Previous node. First line is done. Second line is previous node dot next is equal to null. So initially these are connected, right? So let's connect them. So the second line is doing what? Second line, which is previous next. Previous node dot next is equal to null. This line is breaking this bond. So our second line is done. Now comes the third line. Node dot previous is equal to null. So this line is doing what? This line is breaking this bond. Right. So third line is done. And at last, this dot tail is equal to previous node. So we have to do what? We have to update the tail. Tail is here, right? This was our tail. So this dot tail is equal to previous node. So the last thing is we take this tail and put it here. It's done. Now let's run this code and see if there is any compilation error. Yes, there is compilation error. Let me check at 119. Okay. 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah. I have to return node. To return the node. I forgot about it. So now run it again. Again compilation error. List is empty exception. Method it is not finding this method. Okay, let me check. So this list is empty exception. This is the error in this code. Okay. So let me check where okay. So this is the spelling mistake. Let me make it list is empty exception. Okay, right. Now let's run it. Accepted. Let's submit it. And okay, let me check it. What is the problem here now? Alright guys, let's submit this code again. That time, so the test case we have failed, it was not really the failed test case, that was server error, but our code is perfectly working. So okay, so if you like the explanation, if you like the way I explain you every part of the code, so please like the video. If you have any query regarding this question, this particular question, you can comment it out, and please welcome and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much guys.